3 years on T is crazy. Let me just say that. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Andrew, and today I am 3 years on T, and that is great. But I wanted to talk to you about the process of getting here. I'm at a place right now where I can walk into any room and probably 98% of people will view me as male, which is great. That's what I wanted. And that is absolutely due to testosterone. I could have come up with all the confidence in the world and that wouldn't have happened for me. But I know a lot of people aren't on testosterone and they don't have this advantage. So instead of showing pictures and videos of differences that were due to testosterone, I really want to talk about things that people can work on. I remember before I went on testosterone, it was a really brutal time for me. I remember coming out to people, my friends and my family, and a lot of feedback being negative. And I don't at all blame them because I was questioning my transition myself, and I was, figuring it out. It was new to me and it was new to them. And so obviously, if they had concerns, it's just because they love me, and I know that. But it can be really hard having everybody give you this advice that you're not asking for. You're telling them a fact. I am transgender, this is what I'm doing. And instead of just taking it in, a lot of people try to twist it to make me not want to do that because it would make them feel more comfortable. They would rather me stay how I was and figure out how to be happy than, let me be happy the way I want to be and them just kind of figure things out for themselves, and educate themselves and try to see where I was coming from. And that's totally natural for people. It's scary. The unknown is scary for humans. That's just how it works. But I clearly remember feeling like my relationships with almost everybody had changed, and they did, and that sucked. I look back and there was a lot of things that I think I could have done that would have immensely improved those relationships. I try not to compare my transition to other people's transition because it's my own. And it's obviously going to be different than everybody else's, but I look at Oliver's transition and it's very different from mine, in a very positive way. For those of you that don't know, Oliver is my boyfriend. He's just now about 3 weeks on testosterone, so he's at the very beginning of his transition with testosterone. But I look at the time, and I do have to keep in mind, I was 18 at the time and he's 21, so obviously that's a big difference. There's going to be lots of mental changes anyways, but he walks around very confident, and he walks around like he's sure of what he's doing. He doesn't look as if there is any input to have. From my understanding, when he came out to his parents, it was very factual. Like, I am transgender, this is going to happen whether or not you support me. The ship is leaving, you're welcome to get on it, but if not, then this is goodbye. Whereas when I came out, it was very much like, oh, the ship is leaving, but I tied my ankle to the dock. So I was stretched, like I was holding on to the ship wanting to leave, but part of me was still tied here, which gave people the opportunity to walk on me. That's my own fault. The fact that they were giving their input, and for a long time I was thinking I didn't ask for it. But when I look back, I was really giving them the opportunity to do that, which is my own fault, I think if I had walked in more confident and whenever they asked me questions, just been more open to answering them and just honest. Like, if they asked me a question that seemed kind of attacking, just maybe say, I don't know that answer. That's a really good question, that's something that I need to think about. Rather than going, well, you don't know what this is like, and getting all defensive, because that it didn't help. It didn't make me feel better, and it didn't give them any useful answers. I don't want to sit here and just talk about all the things I did wrong. I want to talk about things that I believe I could have done differently, and hope that maybe this will help you do some of those things differently to improve your outcome. If you're coming out to somebody, try to put yourselves in their shoes and just assume that they know absolutely nothing about what being transgender means. So maybe take time to think about questions people might have for you. And then just kind of prepare some of those answers. But make sure whatever you say, you're saying it confidently. And if they ask you questions that you weren't prepared for, be honest. It's okay to say, you know, I need a minute to think about that. And if they rush you, that's their problem. That's not yours. Don't let that become your problem. Practice walking into a room with confidence. I know that it's hard. I know that it's easier said than done. But the more you practice at it, the better you'll become at it. Maybe you need to start researching ways to become more confident within yourselves. Maybe, you know, you need to ask some of your friends, hey, if you didn't know what being transgender meant, what questions do you think you might have? And then think about those answers. Like, there's plenty of ways to prepare yourselves to where you'll look more confident and you'll have more answers and you'll feel more secure with coming out to people, knowing that you have a lot of answers for them. Those are some things that I wish that I had done, because when I came out, it was willy-nilly. Like, it was all just very emotional, and whenever they had concerns for me, like, why are you doing this? You know, you're so pretty the way you are. I was just like, you don't understand, and this is so hard for me. When you think about what I just said, you don't understand, this is so hard for me, it literally gave them no answer, because they asked, you're so pretty. They said, you're so pretty, why are you doing this? And all I said was, you don't understand. It's like, from their perspective, it's like, I know I don't understand. That's why I'm asking you. I'm asking you because I want to understand. That was them telling me they wanted to understand, even if it was in a way that I would prefer for them not to ask. But instead of trying to help them understand, I was really just making them feel like shit for trying to understand, which was my fault. So yeah, like, really, take a deep breath and just know that it'll be okay. If you come out once and it's a little awkward, like, that relationship will still have time to mend. I remember with a lot of people, I would say or do things where I was like, oh crap, that just made it so awkward, and it felt like it was going to be like that forever, and like I had just ruined that relationship. And now those relationships are great. Sometimes things just take time, but there are things that you can do to kind of move that process along. You know, be open to questions. Tell them, hey, you know, whatever questions you have, I'd be happy to answer. And I know something that I did right, that I'm glad I did, was people would go, you know, I have this question, but I don't know how to ask it. And I would tell them, ask it in the illest form you have. Don't try to beat around the bush. Just ask your question. I promise you, I won't get offended. And they felt more comfortable with asking. That took time for me to get there, but I wish that I had that mentality and structure in the first place. Once I started progressing and really gaining that confidence and kind of walking into the room with the mentality and the attitude of, these are facts, this is what I'm doing, like, this ship has left. If you're already on the dock, you better start fucking swimming, because I'm already over here. People started to really respond to that, and they were kind of like, well, shit, like, does anybody have a life vest? Like, I gotta get on this boat now. People are either gonna join you or they're not. Don't waste your time on people that aren't gonna join you, because there are gonna be people that are. If you're already on the ship, you might as well start having a party. This is something that is really important to me. So if I feel like I left stuff out, I might do a part 2. If you have any questions about what I said, please let me know and I'll make sure to get back to you. You can DM me if they're more personal. I have all my social media down below. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.